John Gajkowski is joining me this morning, and he's one of the co-founders of the Money Managers Financial Group. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Fritz.
And he's here to talk a little bit about an upcoming holiday, and that's Credit Card Reduction Day, or Credit Card Elimination Day, if you
Absolutely.
will. And there's some things that we can think about with credit cards that are really important. You have some thoughts on how to reduce our credit card load.
What people should always be trying to do, and a trap that they often fall into, is the idea, all I have to do is make the minimum payments and I'll be okay. And the problem with that is, if you make the minimum payments, what's going to happen is that loan is going to continue for many, many years. What we always recommend for clients is that they have a plan to get out of debt. You need to get back to even before you can move ahead. So what we tell clients to do is take a look at their credit card debt, prioritize them by the amount owed and the interest rate, and then put them in sequential order on how you want to attack them. Depending on a person's personality, some will attack the lowest balances first and get those paid off to build momentum. Other people, what they will do is they'll take a look at the highest interest rates and attack those first.
Well, and in the process of doing that, there's some things, of course, we have to watch out for. Missing a payment would be a real red flag.
Absolutely. A lot of people think, missing a payment or being late on a payment is no real big thing. But the reality is, by missing your payment or being late on a payment, what happens is you lose that 25 or 30-day grace period that the credit card gives you. And what's happening is, from that point forward, any charges that you make, you're being charged interest on them immediately, which could cause the interest rates to go up, or the amount that you owe to go up exponentially.
And can affect other things which have nothing to do with your credit, such as auto insurance.
Oh, absolutely.
So now another aspect to this is when you're using your credit card, some of the things you want to watch out for, though, is you wouldn't want to, for example, take a cash advance.
Absolutely not. Cash advances can be extremely tricky because they're a very expensive way to borrow money. Typically, it's costing you 3 to 5% right up front to access the money. As soon as that loan hits, or short-term loan hits, you're paying interest from that point going forward. Again, there's no grace period. And the other thing is, they typically carry much higher interest rates than your normal charge situation.
So another flag here, it would be, as far as thinking about your credit report, is opening too many accounts. So if you're going to use your credit card, not having a whole bunch of accounts and letting them sit.
Whenever you're looking at opening a credit card, you really have to ask yourself, why am I doing this and who's benefiting most from it? Oftentimes we'll be sucked in by, getting 10% off a purchase or a free t-shirt at a Wolves game or whatever the case is. But you really have to take a look at it and see how it's going to be to your advantage. What you don't want to do is have an array of credit cards, because typically what it does is it exposes yourself to overspending, and it makes managing your credit extremely, extremely difficult.
Well, now on the converse side, let's say you have all these cards, you're not really using them, different gas cards and perhaps department store charges, and you're like, well, why should I bother keeping these? They're just a temptation. I'll just close them. There's actually a downside to that.
There's very much a downside. Closing the credit cards can adversely affect your credit score. And if you're closing them very quickly, right after opening them, it can send out a signal that you're almost a bad credit risk.
A lot to think about. John, thanks so much for coming in this morning.
Thanks, Fritz.